Hi everyone, I think I'm live. I've got a monitor down here so I can see whether I'm live or not, and it appears that I am. So also, could you please, because I'm checking out a new microphone system, just give me a thumbs up or something to say that in actual fact you can hear me. Can you hear me? Oh yes, good. 3 thumbs up, I guess, that you can actually hear me. Great, fantastic. We are checking out new technology for us to be able to do our, thanks Joe, that's fantastic. Hey, how was your house move? I know you're moving at the moment, so that's fantastic. Hi Claire, that's good news too. So, yeah. So tonight's Facebook Live, it was actually Sally's idea, was around doing the NLP presuppositions. And I can't do all of those in one session. So we're going to go through those. I'm going to do Facebook Lives on the NLP presuppositions over the next couple of weeks. It'll probably take at least 5 or 6 weeks for me to go through the major ones. They are grouped in. So for those of you that aren't aware of NLP presuppositions, which I know some of you won't be, they are a set of assumptions, a set of convenient beliefs that as an NLP practitioner, master practitioner, trainer, master trainer, we would operate from. We're not saying that they're absolutely true. What we're saying is that they are convenient beliefs that when you operate from these particular beliefs, they tend to get you better results for yourself and also for your clients. So the first one is actually everyone has their own unique model of the world. And it relates to the second one, which I want to do both of them in the same session tonight because you need to really, which is respecting another person's model of the world. So, what does the model of the world mean? Well, I need to I'm going to check out that new technology now, see if it works. So I'm going to bring up a slide. I hope you can see that, and I hope you can see that slide and still hear me. I'm monitoring on my monitor here, and it's my internet connection is not that great. So, anyway, let's carry on. Please give me a thumbs up if you can see the slide and you can hear my voice, or just put a comment in. Brilliant, thanks Claire. So here's the one of the fundamental models which you cover on the first day of any NLP training, which is the NLP Communications Model, which you've got there that you've got the external event, which is anything that's going on outside of you. And, you know, in the old days of NLP, we used to say that you were receiving 2 million bits of information every second. Now we're saying it's 12 million bits, though that could well be an underestimate. So you're receiving a huge amount of information, whether it's 2 billion or 12 million, you know, it really doesn't matter. And then your nervous system, or from a hypnosis point of view, or from an NLP point of view, your unconscious mind filters this information that's coming in, and it deletes, it distorts, and it generalizes. It comes through your beliefs, it comes from your previous experiences, it comes through all of those kind of filters, if you like, almost like you're wearing a pair of sunglasses that filters things, and then you become aware of your internal representation, the pictures, the sounds, the feelings, the smells, the tastes, the self-talk that you're aware of right now. And, you know, if I was to say to you, stop right now, and go inside? Are you seeing pictures, hearing sounds, feeling feelings, smelling smells, tasting tastes, talking to yourself? Then my guess is that you would be. That's your internal representation. Now, here's the thing with this particular model is that all you can ever be aware of is your internal representation. You can never experience the external event, only ever the internal representation. So what you're experiencing right now is your internal representation of my Facebook Live. I can see we've got 7 people watching at the moment. We've got 12 thumbs up. Normally on my Facebook Lives we'll get something like 1,000 to 2,000 viewers over time, not necessarily live, but over the recorded one. What that means is that there are between 1,000 and 2,000 different versions, different models of my Facebook Live taking place at each point in time, because every single one of you, as you're sitting there right now, listening to me, looking at this particular slide, are deleting, distorting, and generalizing it in different ways. That's what we mean by a model. So everything is a model. I'm just about to go back to, so you can see me. Hey, welcome back. Don't want you looking at that slide for the entire time. So, this is an interesting thing. What I have is my model of what my trainer's model of NLP was. And his model was the model that was the person who taught him, which happened to be Richard Bandler, but it's just a model. And everything is a model. Everything you experience, therefore, from the NLP Communications Model is a model. So NLP is a model. It's not true. It's not the way it really is. It's a model. Hypnosis is a model. Timeline therapy is a model. Mental emotional release is a model. HUNA is a model. Medicine is a model. Science, as we know it, is a model. Quantum physics is a model. Quantum physics actually is probably the most honest one out of the lot that actually says that it's a model, thanks to the observer effect. So everything that we have, every religion on the planet is a model. And the question as to whether that model is actually right or wrong, true or false, good or bad, it is irrelevant. The thing is, it's a model. It's not real. And, I've got to tie this in now with the next presupposition of NLP, which is respect everybody's model in the world. So we've got that everybody has different models, depending upon the religion that you adopt, you have a different model. There are people who go like, the only way to be totally healthy is vegan. The only way to be totally healthy is keto. The only way to be totally healthy is what's the one where you fast for 2 days, 5-2, whatever it is, These people accept this model. And they go, but this is the way it is. It's real. No. What I'm saying is it's a model. Medicine is a model. Doctors accept a model. There are people that go, no, medicine is totally big pharma, all this kind of thing is evil, dirty, nasty. It's a model. It's not true. It's not real. It's just a model. So what we're really talking about is whether a model works for you or not. That's the important thing. So there's no right or wrong model. There's no good or bad, no, just or unjust. It's just a model of the world. It's all we've got to work with. That was my model. That was my understanding when I first came into NLP. And it was massively freeing. And I've been working with it and extending it ever since. So, here's a personal experience. Probably about 20 years ago, I wanted to lose weight. And I got this belief that came up that the only way that I could lose weight was if I had a Nordic track cross-country ski machine, if you remember those things. So, you would go from an NLP point of view, I can only lose weight if I have a Nordic track cross-country ski machine. I would say that's a limiting belief. So you've got a number of choices with that. You can get rid of that limiting belief with some adaptive belief change. You can get rid of that belief with timeline therapy or mental emotional release techniques. Brilliant. Then you can get fit in any way that you want to. Though I went, well, why not use that belief and actually not see it as a limiting belief, but actually use it as an empowering belief? So what I did was I bought a Nordic track ski machine, which I loved. I used it all the time. And guess what? It worked. I lost weight. So this is what I mean by models of the world. That's all you've got. So let's talk about respecting models of the world, because I think it's really important at the moment. In the world that we look out at, there are very, very, very different models of the world operating. You can see them every day in the news. So from an NLP point of view, what we've got is that all that people have is a model of the world. No right, no wrong, whether they be a Muslim, a Hindu, a Christian, a Buddhist. It doesn't matter. It's their model of the world. And if that model of the world works for them, then fantastic. If it doesn't, then we can assist people in changing their model of the world. Though the important thing is the second one, which is this: respecting other people's model of the world. You've got to get the first one first to get the second one, because we all have a different model of the world depending on our life, our experiences, how we've been brought up, the school we went to, our family, the culture, the part of the world, all of those kind of things. In our very, very early days, Maurice Massey would say within the first 7 to 10 years actually is what creates our values and our beliefs, which is a major filter for our model of the world. So there are very, very different models of the world on the planet today. What respect other people's model of the world actually says is to realize that people have other different models of the world from you, potentially dramatically different models of the world from you. I have met people that had such significantly different models of the world from me that I was left going, wow. But thanks to my teaching in NLP, I went, how did you get that model of the world? I got really curious about it because I respected it. So, a couple of things on respect. Respect isn't agreeing with somebody else's model of the world. There are people around that I meet on a day-to-day basis, that I see in the news, on Facebook, everywhere else, that I don't agree with their model of the world. That's okay. Totally okay. And respect it means it's their model of the world. It might not be yours. It's their model of the world. Who knows what they went through, what they experienced to have this particular model of the world at this particular point in time. If it works for them, then that's fine. If it doesn't work for them, then we can work with them around changing their model of the world. I would say that, models of the world, a model of the world works, and works for a person if it works for them. If it's causing harm to somebody else, then, we've got a little bit of a question to have there, so where it becomes a bit of a grey area. Though, everybody's on the receiving end of somebody else's model of the world. I had a really bizarre experience. I share this in my trainings. I don't normally share it publicly because it would be seen as being probably too contentious. I think with the Robbins thing that's been going on with the Me Too, again, models of the world. Tony's got a model of the world. The lady had a model of the world. People watching that had a model of the world, and it's kind of like blown up out of all proportion. It's interesting that I actually went through that video with a fine-tooth comb, and I can't actually find where Tony actually said the things that he's being accused of, but there we go. But models of the world. Now, when you go, everybody's got their unique model of the world. There's no right or wrong model of the world, and you respect other people's model of the world, then life actually becomes a lot easier. So I had an interesting experience. This was years and years ago. Must have been in the mid-90s, something like that. And I'd gone to this seminar this weekend, this workshop, spiritual development workshop. And I'd gone with some friends of mine, Brad Meyer and Tracy O'Connor. We went to this workshop. It's about 100 people there. It was a psychodrama workshop. I couldn't believe how many people there were there to work on being abused when they were younger. I'd not come across that. That wasn't in my model of the world at that point in time, and it became a big thing in my model of the world that weekend. And so people were working on that. They were releasing their negative emotions on it. It was a fantastic weekend. It was great. It was a really great experience for me. But then this guy stands up, like on the last afternoon. I remember it very, very clearly. Big guy. He was big guy. He's probably like 6'5", 6'7", something like that, wearing a duffel coat with a big beard. And he goes, "You've all got this totally wrong. Parents have a responsibility to physically beat their children to wake them up, because when they are born, they are dead to the world, and they need to be beaten to wake them up." Well, you can probably guess the reaction in the room. I'm thinking, this guy's not going to walk out alive. I'm going like, whoa. But you see, I got the NLP presuppositions. I look at the guy and goes, that's an interesting model of the world. I wonder how you got that. And, you know, there were obviously a number of attacks and all that kind of stuff going on to him. And, you know, there were some obvious questions. The first question was, do you have children? To which he said, yes, I do. I have 3. Then, obviously, the next question is, did you or do you beat them? And he says, yes. Well, you can probably imagine the energy in the room at this particular point in time. Now, do I agree with that model of the world? Absolutely not. Not in any way, shape or form. And was it this guy's model of the world? I looked at him and I went, this guy's not bullshitting. This guy, in some way, shape or form, has come to the point where he actually believes this is true. Not only is it a positive intention for him in beating his children, in his model of the world, it's actually positive for his children. Can you get that? You might need to think about this for a while, because this is an extreme example. I'm going to share an extreme example with you, because I think it's the extreme examples where we really get our learnings from. This guy's model of the world. This guy, you know, a lot of people, evil, nasty, whatever. No, this guy actually, and I looked at his physiology. I'm good at that. I absolutely knew 100% that he completely, totally and utterly believed that what he was doing was the right thing. It's not the right thing as far as I'm concerned. It's probably not the right thing as far as you're concerned. But he believed that. That was his model of the world. And as you start to experience these kind of things, you'll realize that people have very, very different models of the world from you. That's not the problem. The issue is, one, realizing that people have different models of the world. And you don't have to agree with them. I don't agree with lots of people's models of the world. It's respecting them for what they are. That's the way that they experience the world. It's very different from you. And I had some, you know, when I really got that, and I think it was not from my NLP training, not really from my HUNA training. It was from a time that I got to spend, a very privileged time that I got to spend with somebody I would take as being one of my mentors. I might even say guru, though he would hate that. I got to spend an afternoon with Stuart Wilde. And to cut a long story short, what came up was I was actually having a negative take on somebody's model of the world. And that was homeless people. I I thought it was bad. I thought it was it shouldn't happen. And I'd moved to London, and where I'd lived before, Nottingham, Mansfield, Macclesfield, Manchester. At the time I did, there were not that many homeless people. And so I moved to London, lots of homeless people. And I just happened to mention this to Stuart. And he's quite aggressive. That's my model of the world. Actually, no, he wasn't. He's confrontational. Confrontational. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are to say that what these people are going through at this particular point in time is wrong? You don't know them. You don't know where they are on their path. You don't know what their purpose is and all that kind of stuff. And I was well and truly put in my place. So I used my techniques of NLP and MER and timeline therapy and let my stuff go. And I remember being a summer in a outside a pub in Acton, and this lady walked up to me. I can only describe her as the bag lady. One of those ones with all of her worldly belongings, including lots and lots of newspapers, and their red and white and blue bags. Comes up to me and she says, "Can I have 30p, please?" And I said, "Is that what you really want?" And she goes, "Not really." I said, "Well, what do you really want?" She said, "I want a cup of tea." I said, "Is that what you really want?" She said, "Not really, no." I said, "So what do you really want?" She says, "I want a can of Carlsberg Special Brew." I said, "Okay. Is that what you really want?" She goes, "No, I want 2 cans of Carlsberg Special Brew." For those of you outside of the UK, Carlsberg Special Brew is a very, very strong lager beer, about 9 to 10%, something like that, rocket fuel. And so she said she wanted 2 cans of Carlsberg Special Brew. So I said, "So what do you really want then?" I said, "How much is 2 cans of Carlsberg Special Brew?" She goes, £2. So I said, "So what do you really want?" She goes, "I guess I want £2. So I'd got no change. I gave her a £20 note. So go get yourself 2 cans of Carlsberg Special Brew. And bring me the change. So she wanders off. I was with my girlfriend at the time, Caroline, and she goes, "Are you mad? Do you seriously think you're going to get that money back?" And I went "Actually, I do, and if I don't really care. It'll come back to me somewhere else from the universe." But lo and behold, 5 minutes later, the lady shows up with her bags and the carrier bag with 2 cans of Carlsberg Special Brew and strikes up a conversation. And she starts telling me about how she wound up being in the situation she was in, living on the street. And I'm quite good at conversational change and reframing things, and also, obviously my Huna techniques. So I had a chat with her for 15, 20 minutes. After 15, 20 minutes, she left with a big beaming smile on her face. Now, whether that's because I'd actually enabled her to get a different viewpoint on her life, as in changed her model of the world, maybe. Or maybe she was just looking forward to drinking 2 cans of Carlsberg Special Brew. The thing is, when you get people have unique models of the world and you respect people's models of the world, you don't care which one of those 2 it is. The lady walked off with a smile on her face. That is the most important thing. Whereas I would have gone, "You shouldn't be living on the street. You shouldn't be drinking Carlsberg Special Brew. You shouldn't be, should. I had a later experience when I was running a seminar for, here's a bizarre thing. I wind up doing a seminar for homeless people. Can you believe that? I can't. I don't think that would have happened if I hadn't changed my model of the world, and respecting other people's model of the world. And this guy comes up to me in the first break, and his name was David as well. And I said, "So, hi, David. How are you?" "I'm okay." Where did you come in from today? Trafalgar Square. Oh, really? Is that where your station is? No, I live there. I went, you live in Trafalgar Square? He goes, yeah, I live in Trafalgar Square. What a cool place to live. So central. What a great address. He goes, yeah, it's okay. And I said, so how are you finding the seminar so far? And he goes, I don't want to be here. I said, why not, David? He said, well, people tell me that I should get a job, I should get a flat, I should get a house. He said, I don't want a job. I don't want to live in a house. I just want to live in the forest with the animals. And again, I'm looking at this guy and I'm pretty good at calibrating, physiology and stuff. It was totally true. That's what he wanted. That was his model of the world. And I said to David, look, in a couple of minutes I'm going to put the music on and we're going to rejoin. We're going to start the seminar again. But there's a door over there. It's open. I'm not going to say anything. That was the last time I saw David. That's the really wonderful thing that you've got when you realize everything is a model of the world and you respect other people's model of the world. You let them do their thing. If their model of the world works for them, great. If they come to you and their model of the world doesn't work for them, then we can assist them in changing it. But it's not moving from a wrong model of the world to a right model of the world. It's just a model of the world. That's why I love the presuppositions of NLP. And, as I said before, everything is a model. Medicine is a model. Huna is a model. Science is a model. Everything is a model. So I hope that your model of my model of the NLP model of the world presupposition has been useful for you tonight. If it hasn't, then don't watch it, or just change it and watch it again. See you next week. Whoa, I'm trying to find out how to switch it off.